Welcome to Half Expecting, the podcast for those of you who are expecting.
And for those of you who aren't,
I'm Steven. I am expecting my first child.
I'm Jake, and I am not expecting any children. Hi, bud.
Hi, bud.
Welcome to the show.
Touch my finger.
We're doing a podcast.
Doing a podcast.
You may know us from our acclaimed 1,000-subscriber YouTube channel.
300 of you have watched our...
Just let me help. We are friends. We are sketch partners, former lovers.
Jake knocked me up recently, and that's what this is about. I solely alone am pregnant. My wife and I found out that we were pregnant just a couple of months ago after our first anniversary, and it was a big surprise.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy shit, can we do this? How do we do this? Do we make enough money to do this? We have so many questions and so many concerns and thoughts, and I just don't feel like there's a resource out there, honestly, for guys that don't like doing very much research on things.
That's also like funny and entertaining.
This is a way for me to learn things, and if you are in the same situation, or if you have something to teach me, I want to hear all about it.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about raising a child, and I would love to know what you know and what these fine experts and wonderful people in our general circle that we're going to have on the show know about raising a kid well.
Right. And not, just to be abundantly clear, this was not on purpose. You were not reading up. You weren't mentally expecting this to happen. You weren't fiscally expecting this to happen.
Was not even half expecting this to be a thing in my life right now, and we're rolling with it. And I think that this is a way for me to get my bearings a little bit, and hopefully I feel like I add anything to this at all.
Right.
Because Molly's doing most of the heavy lifting right now.
All?
One would say.
95, 99%.
I do the dishes.
If I can I share how I got involved in this?
Absolutely, you may.
So, Molly and Steven, when we can align the schedules, we enjoy spending time together. Yeah. And so Maddie and I made fish tacos for Steven and Molly, and we were going to meet at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then Molly texted, "Hey, can we meet at 7?" And we were like, "Thank God, yes," because the fish tacos were not ready. This is when I should have known something was up. Steven texted me, "Hey, I'm early with the drinks, just by himself. Can you let me in?" I said, "Sure." So Steven comes into the apartment, and I am just like confused because, again, they live so close. I'm like, is she coming from work? And very almost like I was interrogating you. You just went, Molly's pregnant. So unceremonial. It was just like it came out of you. It was like you belched it out.
I had to say it because Molly was very concerned that you guys were going to think she didn't want to come over for dinner, which is not the case.
Nor would we have thought that.
Yeah, there was a lot that I
it's okay.
Sort of rushed there. But Jake had gone to Alaska, caught this fresh halibut. And it was very good. I stayed for the tacos. Molly did not come. She was dealing so much with morning sickness that day and felt so bad about not being able to go. She tried to extend it, tried to muster the courage, but she was like, if I go to their house, I will throw up on their table.
Yeah.
100%.
And honestly, that would have been fine, except for the fact that we had the fresh fish tacos. I think that just would have been rude.
The table was made when I got in, so it would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you tell me this, and we're so stoked and have so many questions, and it's like, when, what, how, where? And then you shared with me, you're like, I have this idea for a podcast. And so you kind of pitched, I want to make a podcast. I bring people on that kind of teach me how to be prepared to be a dad, because I don't feel prepared, and I think it...
And I do not like reading books.
Right. And basically exactly what we just said about 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
And I'm... I don't know if you were pitching it to me as hey, do you want to be involved, or would you ever want to help out with this? But I'm like, that is such a good idea. I was in on the idea from the jump. And so I was like, I kind of asserted myself, and however I can help, let me know.
Yep.
And I was kind of thinking I would be maybe a producer where I would help schedule people and or help edit, whatever.
Yep.
And then you offered do you want to have a mic? And so I'm thinking I'd be like the guy at the producer table with a mic who kind of chimes in every once in a while with a question or something. And lo and behold, I talked my way into co-hosting.
Charmed my way to the top. Jake actually told me that he was willing to get pregnant halfway through our podcasting series in order to extend the longevity of the show, which I really appreciate.
When I just hate missing out. So like any way I can get involved in a conversation, like I just want to hang. And I love Steven very much.
And Jake asks good questions. He's a generally curious guy. So I'm glad to have him here. Thankful to have you on for the ride, my friend. And excited to bring everybody some fresh perspectives.
Yeah.
Maybe that they didn't think about before they were pregnant, if they're pregnant.
So you're going to hear, we recorded our pilot episode before even knowing what the podcast was called. And so then half of the episode was us trying to figure out what it was called. It wasn't very good. So we cut all that out. And that's what we did here. So you're about to listen to Steven and I talking more about Steven's experience getting pregnant, what expectations or plans have changed, and just kind of what is he hoping to achieve and come away from this podcast having learned and been prepared for. And every week, hopefully, we'll have a different expert, a different professional in some field that has something to do with parenting. We're going to hopefully try and bring on our financial planner to help teach Steven how to fiscally prepare for being a dad.
How do I afford a baby?
Yeah.
We've got therapists. We've got doulas. We've got fitness experts. We've got mom influencers. We run the gambit here.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Gambit?
Yeah.
Gambit?
Gamut. Game butt.
Enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Getting to know us a little
Enjoy
bit.
the ride.
My dad, like midway through high school, stopped smoking.
Oh, he was already smoking.
He was he was like a 2-pack a day guy.
Okay.
And he was broadcasting at the time, and he was like, I shouldn't have stopped.
Oh.
He's like, because I sound like a baby now.
Does it reverse?
Yeah. Like if you stop, your body heals a little bit.
Can you do what he sounded like before he started? Like, wait, he was 50. Hold on. When did he stop smoking?
When he was 56, probably.
When did he start smoking?
When he was like 12 years old.
Okay. So what did Steve sound like at 56 right before? And then give us Steve at 58.
I couldn't tell you the difference is the thing. He always has like a deeper register voice, and he always puts on the thing. But he had more rasp, a little bit more rasp. And then he always told me that it was too nasally after he stopped smoking. So,
ooh,
I know.
I could use some cigarettes then.
Yeah, it'll really open us up.
In a month, welcome to the podcast. I've been
my kid's really pissing me off.
I've been smoking cigarettes and eating Genoa salami.
Don't mind my chest sweat. It is,
dude. While I was gone this weekend, I forgot to bring any underwear, so I wore the same pair.
Yikes!
And I was getting into a debate with my boss because first thing he asked was, "Well, did you reverse it? Like, did you go inside out reverse?" And I said, "That's worse because." Whatever's like, you
gotta flip them.
Yeah, well, because then if you do that, whatever was inside is now like rubbing up against your pants. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's better. I wore it the same way every time.
Okay, yeah, it's all just encased in there.
Yeah,
rather than it's like close.
What would you
people.
do?
Oh man, I don't think I would wear underwear if I'm honest with you.
How is that better?
I think that. Wearing dirty clothes, I would rather if you spilled mustard on your shirt, would you rather walk around with it the next day, or would you rather walk around with no shirt on?
I'd rather walk around with a mustard stained shirt. That's a stupid question.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's say you were at home. Let's say you weren't out in public though.
Yeah.
Like, would you want it on your skin still, the mustard, the oils of the mustard, or would you? You would walk around with no shirt on, and don't lie to me that you wouldn't.
Well, now I'm confused by the question. The mustard got in between my shirt and my skin.
I'm saying your decision, let's just say it's your decision is between you and God to wear underwear or not, right? Nobody else is going to know unless you tell them.
Yeah.
So just for comfort's sake.
Oh, then definitely underwear.
I don't believe it.
I don't like
dirty underwear.
No, but it's that like, unless I shit my pants, it doesn't feel dirty.
Yeah, all right.
Like if it's like no one else knows, I'm the
only
only one that
for a couple of
knows.
days.
Yeah, it was only a couple of days.
It was only a couple of days.
It's not like I wasn't doing anything like.
There's no mud at this camp. There was no like wrestling.
I sweated for a little bit. I played volleyball and
see, that's when it starts
basketball.
to get weird. So you brought one pair of underwear.
If you count what I wore to the camp, bringing underwear. Yeah. Otherwise, I didn't bring any.
None were packed.
Yeah, and I brought so many socks too, which was a bummer.
Well,
I was packing too fast. You're 35 now.
Mm-hmm.
You've been together for how long?
Yep, 7 years, just about, since 2018, June of 2018. So
you get married last year, and I want to know a little bit more. I want everyone else to know a little bit more about you too. But just while we're here, you get married last year. You're at the altar.
Yep.
Collectively, what's the plan? When you think of yourself 34 at the time, you're getting married. What's the timeline of things in that moment? Yeah, for kids, for career, like what are you hoping for in the next, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah, I think that, okay, so both Molly and I are in entertainment. So our jobs are so strange and there's just no telling what's going to happen. So to give yourself a timeline, honestly, just like defeats the purpose of living in Los Angeles and trying to do this thing. So we always had goals, do have goals still. That's part of the whole thing. That's sort of terrifying about this. We didn't have like a timeline for when we would like stop trying, you know. It's just going to always be something that we do. And so as far as careers go, we don't have timelines. We just sort of like are striving. We have goals, but we don't have like any set time markers. Right.
There was never a point where you were like, we'll do the dink thing for 5 years. Yep. And then wherever we are, we'll shelve it and then we'll go settle down wherever.
Yeah. So as far as like children go, we had always said that on our second anniversary, it was when we would have the conversation about like, hey, this is kind of our plan. And within the next year after that, we would be pregnant, probably, you know. And that didn't happen. So that didn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my brain, I think when this all started, when we found out, I was like, oh no, I had in my brain, and I think in Molly's brain, maybe it was a little sooner. She was maybe more ready. She had a couple of friends that just had kids recently and is just sort of in those conversations a lot more than I am. And so I think she was a lot more, ready mentally and excited mentally for that to happen. Not that I love kids and I definitely want children, but I think if you had asked me on the day I found out and her on the day that we found out, we would have said, no, not today. Today's not a good day to have a kid. Yeah. And yeah, I think that I had really personally hung on to that second anniversary as like a letting go, I guess, of like my current safe life that I love. And so when it happened much sooner, you brought it up so beautifully earlier, and I don't want to steal your talking point, but you mentioned to Molly like the grieving of losing your life as you know it. And I think that's so thoughtful that yeah, it is sort of a grieving process. Even though you don't know what's going to happen, I think that's maybe even scarier.
Totally.
But yeah, you like have to get acquainted with the idea of kind of things shifting in maybe the biggest way that they ever will in your life. So yeah, long story there, but we had planned originally second anniversary we would have the conversation.
Yeah. I'm probably projecting how I would feel in the situation, but I feel like just from what we've talked about, this is something that everyone that gets pregnant or has kids or talks, like when we watch people moving into this phase of their lives, it's always filled with so much joy and excitement and love. And there's no doubting the circumstances or no doubting like the anticipation. And I would imagine that like not being ready for it, not being in like we are actively pursuing this next chapter in our life, any sort of hesitation would be met with like, wait, is something wrong with me? Like, did you ever experience that?
Right now. It's happening to me right now.
Yeah.
Yes. When we talked about our 2-year thing, we're like, that's the day that we're going to be excited about it. And at least in my brain, that's what I thought. And so when it happened sooner, there was like, I almost felt robbed of that experience of like me and Molly sitting down and planning it and feeling great and like having all of our stuff together, whatever that even means. And I was like, is something wrong with me? Like, am I bad? Am I a bad person for not being 100% excited about this kid? And that's really hard. And I think luckily we have really good friends, and so many people have like really helped Molly with her headspace about it all. In that I talked to my mom, actually. My mom was the first person that I told. And the first thing that came out of her mouth was, when I was pregnant with you, I bawled my eyes out in the doctor's office and made them check twice because I was not ready to have you, even though she had already had my sister 2 years before, just over. But in that moment, I felt so much relief because my mom, not that she, didn't want me, but I think everybody might go through this little moment of like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Do I want this? Like, am I ready for this? Or do we have this X, Y, and Z set up? Am I in a good spot? She had just had my sister. She had a little baby at home. And yeah, I think that the coolest part of this process so far, and we're right now when we're shooting this, we're only 8 weeks in, but it's been that people have come to us and immediately said, whatever you're feeling is totally valid.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. I really liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel good about it.
Today's episode of Half Expecting is brought to you by no one. We don't have any sponsors.
We're looking for some.
We're looking
actively.
for some. Do you sell a product that dads or parents would like?
Do you have a place of business that you would like to promote?
Are you desperate to get the word out about the thing you like to do?
Then contact us at halfexpectingpod@gmail.com and also send us some money, wire transfer, please.
Yeah, the money will have to come first. We've jumped in to give a little bit more context for what this is. This is Steven's podcast. The idea is we want to bring people on that can provide a different perspective to prepare Steven to be a parent, to be a dad. And I'm here because I just want to be included. I just want to be part of the conversation.
Jake is so cool because I pitched this idea to him and he was like, "Cool." So I'm co-host, right?
I pitched myself as producer that would have a mic, just because I'm a conversationalist, and yes, I'll be co-hosting as neither an expecting father or a nearly anticipating father.
Yeah.
I don't want to say significantly. I'm rather young compared to you. I'm in a different. You're ancient.
Hang on.
I'm in a slightly different phase of life right now.
Certainly. I think, what am I, 7 years older than you? Yeah.
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 Do you think anyone's going to be surprised by that? Do you think?
No.
No. Everyone who's ever watched a Just Let Me Help sketch.
I thought Jake was 17 in all of these. I thought he needed a SAG waiver.
Yeah, I've had a teacher on set. I've had a teacher on set for every sketch.
He's got to go off for his Algebra 2 homework.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be here. And normally you'll be the one asking the questions, and I'm your sidekick. I'm gonna be. I have a background of working with kids. And as aforementioned, I am a kid, so I'll be able to bring some, maybe different questions or perspectives. But really, I am here as your support.
Yeah, you're one of the most naturally disarming and curious people that I know. So two very good things when dealing with children like you do in your everyday life, and then also just for asking good questions. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that both of us together, hopefully we'll get some sort of helpful information for me to not blow this thing.
Yeah.
God, Molly and I just went through this whole thing with insurance. Trying to get her over onto my insurance plan was crazy because pregnancy is not technically a qualifying life event to change your insurance, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
I cannot think of anything that alters your health more than pregnancy.
Yeah, especially if it's unexpected too.
Good
But then
God.
but then also like anybody could say that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to. Can I have different insurance now?
Get my free birth. We had a doctor in mind that we wanted to go to, and we got it sorted out and everything. But it was a challenge. If you're a expecting parent, newly, if you have kids, if your kids are 30, and you just had a little nugget of wisdom, I'm so curious to hear anything that you found helpful right off the bat.
Right.
Like as I go along, I'm so interested to hear what everybody's got to say.
And it's so bold and courageous of you to do that instead of just reading about
Yeah,
it.
a lot of y'all out there are going to be saying,
Yeah,
wow,
let's read a book.
This guy will do anything except for read a book.
Yeah.
And
That's okay. I will too.
to that I say, why are you so mean? We just met. But you're right. I do not want to read any books, and I want people to come and spoon feed me the information.
But I think that's what I think is fun about this idea is when you're planning, when you're trying, there is, I mean, I would be hard pressed to believe that anybody is like reading up before they get pregnant, even if they're trying. But I think there's an implication that like if I am trying to have a kid, I am also doing the research or the preparation mentally and emotionally to prepare myself for when, you know, we find out that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I say she like it's a random person. I also am married. And
whomever it might be.
But you didn't have that. You didn't because you weren't in the space. And so that's what's fun is like we have a very specific objective. It's not like, hey, whenever we finally get pregnant, now I'll have all this information. It's like you have 9 months. You have 9 months to consume as much information from other people, have as many people come and tell you the holes. And what's fun is like you'll be able to ask very specific questions to experts, relative experts in their field.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fun to be able to explore not just like what the baby experts say.
Yeah, we're going to have so much good information hopefully coming up. Just things that you don't think about.
Right.
I didn't think about a lot. I didn't think about a lot of things I figured out, but I didn't think about how to stop it from happening.
Anyways,
It happened.
What if your son was an incel?
I'm terrified of that. The internet is crazy, man.
You did. Can I just tell you that I know the solution? Just say, you're fucked. I don't know the solution. There's no.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
I watched Adolescence and I was like, fuck. I feel it in my developed man brain. And it's like the constant bombardment of information that we all have. And like I have a niece that's 7 and I'm like, dang, is she, and they do a great job with like her screen time or whatever, but it's just like unavoidable. You're just like constantly receiving stuff and it's wild. I know there's stuff that I can do, but I'm excited to bring somebody on who can tell me maybe some more information about how to avoid all of that. And I know it's unavoidable in a lot of ways, but.
Well, I heard that there are like cohorts of kids who are probably like in middle school, high school now who have like unplug hangs. Where their whole thing is they all leave their phones at home and then they go just like run around.
Oh, I love
So it's like
that.
I think probably what's happening is the kids now see how fucked up their parents are and they're like, I don't want that, you know, like because I think that I think the parents of kids who are in high school now, I think are probably the most online generation. You know, like we're in college right during or right after Facebook. You know, like oh gosh,
That's me. That's me, brother. If I had a kid when I was 21, they'd be 14 right now.
Yeah. That's wild. Sorry, dude.
Yeah. No, you're right. We are, but so I was born like just at the cusp of when, like I remember when my household got internet. So we had probably 6 or 7 years where my house didn't.
Yeah.
And so I would say like slightly younger than me, your age probably. You probably don't remember a time where there wasn't internet.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, you and I probably do have like the most negative effects of all that. And that's so refreshing to hear that these kids are smart. Like, I don't know what I'm worrying about really, but that they're having those sort of like unplugged hangs, because that's so reminiscent of like my childhood, and I like that.
Yeah.
And I hope that for my child. And there's got to be a way that I can sort of not enforce it, but like encourage it.
Yeah.
Being unplugged. If we're having a good time, we're camping or something like that.
You gonna go camping a lot?
I hope so. Yeah. When I was growing up, we didn't camp. We didn't, never. I didn't go camping until I was like 26 years old. Yeah. I lived out here the first time that I went camping.
Where'd you go?
I camped in Joshua Tree, I think, was the first time I tent camped. And then Molly and I did a cool thing during COVID where we drove across country and we camped a couple in Shenandoah National Park in Virginia and Grand Canyon. We stayed on the edge of the Grand Canyon because there were no rules during COVID.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was wild. It was so beautiful. But yeah, didn't camp a whole lot growing up. And so like, there's definitely things that, God, and I hope if my parents watch these that they're not feeling bad, but there's definitely like things that I would like to do that I didn't do when I grew up. And there's certainly a million things that I would want to emulate from my childhood as well. I feel very fortunate that I have a really good relationship with both my parents and my entire family. So I hope I can keep that going with my kid. I don't want to fuck that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, 15 years old, Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
Right?
We need a graphic on the side of these for when you know a fact about me. Friendship point.
Yeah. It's just proof of listening.
Yes. Very good.
With your dad, Steve, and your mom, Pamela.
Yep.
Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to meet your mom.
Yeah.
And your dad.
Yeah. Would love that too.
Do you think they would want to meet me?
I do. Yeah. I do. Yeah. And it's very sweet that your parents want to meet me as well. That's very nice.
Man, maybe I'll just wait until this comes out to tell them that they will meet.
This will be after they've already come and went.
Yeah. I'm bringing him back to Burbank Airport. Is Steven coming too? I think so. We'll see if he's...
I think he's meeting us at the airport. Yeah. I think he's on your flight.
He's gonna...
It's crazy. He's on your flight back home.
All right. You're 15 years old. You're in Dallas, Texas. Yeah. And if you were to then picture yourself 20 years later...
Fuck, man. It's been 20 years.
What would you say? Like, I am Stephen Busby. I live here. I do this. I am blank.
At 15, I would have said, I'm Stephen Busby. I am married to John Mayer. And
Interesting.
We just shred.
Damn.
We just travel the country shredding on guitar all day. Probably. No, I think I always knew I wanted to live in California. I always knew I wanted to live in LA. My dad's from LA. We would come out and visit.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Born and raised?
He grew up in Fullerton. He was born in Burbank. Yeah.
Wow.
He's from here. Played at SC, and then moved away when he got drafted. But we would always come out here, or we came out here a few times and would go to a football game, an SC football game. And so I just like was very enamored with LA when I was a young person. And so I always knew that was in my roadmap. I don't know that I knew what I wanted to do with my job, my career, until I had a camera in my hands, probably. I took photojournalism in high school. I went to school in college for film and TV production, but I didn't know I had like a fire for it until I was like out here and I was like, I'm gonna do this, you know?
At 15, did you think you'd be a dad? Was the idea of being a parent something that you were interested in or even thinking about?
Yes. Yeah. I knew I would have kids, but no serious thought about it at all. No. I would say I've always been more relationship, career driven than family driven, maybe. Not that I didn't want that or think that had value, but I just like when I was young and up until 8 weeks ago, I would say that I was very much the same.
Yeah.
Super driven by work and super driven by relationships.
Forgive the stereotype, but when I think of the South or when I think of the Southern United States, I'm thinking of like family oriented. I'm thinking of like more as we would think like traditional, older ideas of like what it means to be an adult. You grow up and you have a job that can support your family. Being a kid, being a young adult, going to school, moving out here, did it feel like you were actively resisting what was being taught of like what it means to be an adult?
Yeah, I always knew that I didn't want to do like 9 to 5 for sure. Whatever job that was, I've never been motivated by stability, really. In a way, I do. I mean, I like money as much as the next person, but I don't think that I was ever like really motivated by like a 401k type of thing.
I'm shocked.
And some kids really are.
Yeah,
Some
totally.
Some people are so dialed in with like their life and career plan, and that just wasn't me. And it's the same way with family. Man, I'm realizing what a piece of shit I am now.
Why?
I feel like I've been talking to younger people about like their college experience recently. I did a couple of videos that people were talking about like applying to college now. And it's insane. Kids are applying to like 10, 12, 15 schools. And I applied to like 3.
Same.
And it was like in February of my senior year. I just like did not consider the future.
I didn't either.
I've always just been...
I apply, dude. Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Is it even rolling? Honestly, I've been so just like into now.
Still haven't changed my underwear.
No.
No, I applied to 3 state schools.
Yeah.
Colorado State, University of Northern Colorado,
Yep.
and CU Boulder.
Great.
And CSU was the first place that it accepted me.
And you were like, yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
my dad was like, it's because they want you. They've shown you that they want you more than the other schools. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
is that how that works? At the time, I didn't even think anything of it. But I don't understand. Why does that make you a piece of shit?
I don't know. I have an insecurity perhaps about my preparedness,
A theme.
I feel I am a forward-thinking person, but oftentimes I will realize that in the past, I have not been very forward-thinking. So I make it an active habit to like buckle down and start thinking about my financial future and things like that. And I've had to like add that to my personality, really. I just, growing up, was just very much having a good time type of person.
Yeah.
And I still am, but I realize that there are like things that you need to, like a baby maybe, think forward about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like maybe just a day.
Just a day.
Just
One
a day
at
in
time.
advance.
And
Yeah.
That's what so many people have said. And they're just like, just buckle in, man.
I would put money on talking to any parent, especially of like a newborn now. And they're like, you can plan.
Oh, man.
But it's all going to go out the window.
Yeah.
As a non-parent, I feel like I can speak on authority with that.
Somebody said something really cool to Molly the other day. Like I said, a lot of people have been very encouraging with their lack of enthusiasm about their own kids.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, Molly, knowing you, this would have had to happen for you to feel prepared. Like this.
The surprise.
Yeah, the surprise of it all may have been the only way that this would have worked out, because you will just, and they said it to me too, you will never feel prepared for this.
Yeah.
And that's so refreshing to hear everybody say that, you know, that you are never going to be ready for it. It's just going to happen and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know?
And also you're going to make mistakes. Like you could be completely prepared and do all the right things, and then life happens, or something, you know, something out of your control gets in the way.
Yep.
And or you, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a non-serious example where like you just operate out of fight flight and you say the wrong thing or you do the wrong thing, and like, you know, you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
What do you feel prepared about? You have 8 months now to do all the things you're not prepared for. But what do you feel like when I think of what it means to be a dad? I think I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So few things.
All right, name the 3.
Podcast is over. This is it. I feel good about my ability to teach people. I feel confident and comfortable teaching people, and I feel good. I feel like a good encourager. So I think that I will really celebrate wins with my kid. I try really hard in just like normal conversation and meeting people and things like that to make them feel comfortable. I try to like meet them on their level and, make them disarm them in much the same way that you do. So I think that I'm going to show up for my kid and celebrate them in a way that I would want to be celebrated. You know, I feel good about those two things. I feel good about, I'm really thinking about Molly right now. I feel so grateful that Molly is a really good player. She cheats on me constantly. Just that was a player joke, everybody. She plays well. She loves, a lot of her work is with younger kids, and she just like is down to play.
Yeah.
My niece loves Molly because she's just so fun. And I'll find myself like when we're hanging out with my niece, I'll be tired and she'll just be like not showing it.
Yeah.
She might be tired, but she's really good at just like continuing to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to emulate Molly in that way. And I think I can. I think that I'm goofy and silly, and I like to play games and stuff. So I'm gonna have fun with that. Those are my three.
All right.
I don't want to boast too much about what a good dad I'm gonna be.
Where do you feel most unprepared? And or what are you most scared of?
I feel that my personality very much lacks the ability to be a burden to others in public. Let me clarify.
What?
When I am out in public or I'm at somebody's home, whatever it might be, my brain is like so aware of how intrusive I'm being on other people's days. Like if I were to be out in public and my kid were to have a meltdown, I think that I would be like, oh man, that would like, or I'm thinking about traveling. Molly and I love to travel. Bringing my child on an airplane is terrifying to me because you're stuck in a tube for hours and your kid's screaming. And probably a lot of you out there are going to be like, well, just don't take your kid on a plane for a while, which is true. And we probably won't. But I think that's kind of scary to me. I think I'm least prepared to be a parent in public. Yeah.
In particular, when shit's hitting the fan.
Yes. And when it's great, I'm going to love having a kid out in public. It's going to be sweet.
And is it because like, is it a secondhand embarrassment? Is that the fear of like, you'd be like, oh my God, this fucking kid making me look like an idiot. Or is it like, like, is the fear that people are going, God, this dad sucks.
Yeah, get control over your family.
And that's the thing that you're like, I don't want to feel that.
It. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Although secondhand embarrassment's a good way to put it. I've never thought about it that way. Maybe I'm internalizing some of that, projecting my feelings onto somebody else when in reality they're probably just like, oh man, the kid's having a bad day or whatever it might be. They're supportive.
Yeah.
Like when I'm out with you, I don't feel like I'm being a burden. But if I was out with you and you
had a meltdown
and I had to change you on the table, I think that more than anything,
well, I thrash.
I
thrash when I'm getting changed. I thrash. Yep. There's a fear of the social, either like the perception of being a bad dad and or being an inconvenience to people if your kid's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
What else do you feel like I am not ready?
That's what I'm least prepared for. The things that I'm actually afraid of are the impact that it's going to have on Molly and I's relationship. Because I think before, and we haven't told hardly anybody, but whenever I talk to particularly my male friends about what it is like being a dad, they're like, oh, it changes your marriage, man. Like it'll change your marriage. Yeah. It's different. It's hard. You just operate differently, right? You're a united front against the common enemy type of thing, which sounds great. I know we're down for it, but I love Molly and I's relationship and I love our life together, that it's just scary to like throw a variable in there that then you're, for lack of a better word, stuck with, you know? That's the scariest thing to me because we just feel very in sync right now, and I'm afraid that'll like throw us off a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Make us less close. I know it won't. Deep down, I think, but
or less in sync.
Yeah,
less on the same
in
page.
sync. More, if there's more to fight about, perhaps we will fight more. You know,
what do you think this baby will shine a light on, either for you personally or in your marriage?
I think that I consider myself to be patient, but in the most vain way possible. I think that I sometimes can lack patience when something's really testing me. And I think this is definitely going to going back to like the public setting thing, teach me brutally how to be patient in public and how to, not that I would ever feel like I would be unkind to Molly or my child, but like just to sit and accept the uncomfortable thing that's happening and move on. I think that's probably what it's going to force from me. And I think that Molly operates kind of in a similar way. I think Molly tends to be quite a perfectionist and someone who's afraid to maybe like have it perceived that they've made a mistake. And I find myself the same way too. And it's going to be so hard when everybody's got an opinion, which I'm openly asking for in this podcast from everybody out there. But like you'll get a lot of opinions from family, from friends, from parents out there about what's happening in your life. And I think that might be hard for both of us to take in that information and then say, well, we like this, we don't like this. We're just going to do it our way.
Right.
You know, I think those might be tough. So I'm curious to see how these like new versions of ourselves are going to come together to make a bigger, better family. This is, you know, it's going to take time. It's going to be good.
Vaccine or no vaccine?
Are you ever so tired at the end of the day that you just can't do without products?
Oh my gosh, it's the worst when I come home and I don't have my product.
Yeah, you're trying to get your family to bed and that one product just isn't in reach.
I will tell you, honestly, when I started using product, my life changed.
It's almost as though before products were even around, what did we do?
I have no idea how anybody survived without product.
The firmness, the tallness of it, that sweet taste and smell that you get from products, it's indescribable.
I found that product helps me with everyday tasks, from cleaning the dishes to dropping my kids off to work.
I wore products to the gym the other day, and I have never been more confident.
If you go to product.com right now and use coupon code HALFEXPECTING15, you can get 15% off your first subscription order. What does it mean that I'm getting turned on by my own voice?
Jake spent the 30 minutes prior to us rolling while I was getting ready to sit by himself in my living room and talk into the microphone.
I was checking levels, you ass. And yeah, it took me 5 minutes.
This is Jake Cuddemi. Who's going all through your vocal range. It was beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
It's really good. I feel like I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question. You deal with kids all the time. It's big part of your life, and you're so good at it. Do you find yourself encouraged to have children with you through your work, or are there more negatives to working with kids so often? Because I think you're going to be a knockout dad, home run for sure. So I wonder if you find yourself in this moment, in the moments where you're working with kids, feeling more prepared, or are you like, oh shit, there's a lot happening here that I haven't thought about?
Well, so I work with kids once a week for an hour.
Wow.
And so I don't work with I mean when people ask me what I do, like I say I work with kids. So it does feel like I work with kids. That's how I look at my job. But I've gotten to work with kids between the age of 3 and 16 at my job, and so I feel like I've gotten a lot of practice with different ages, and I think I've had people ask me that question with the presumption where like assuming that the answer is like, it's kind of worn you down, huh? Or like it's made you really tough. And I haven't felt that at all. I think part of it knowing that like I hang with them for an hour and then they go home. And so it's like, there's not enough time to be able to build any sort of consistency or rhythm with the kids to be able to hold them accountable to a certain set of norms or dynamics. Cause it's just like, I'm getting them however they're coming in, hanging for an hour, and then they're gone.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. Like I love hanging with kids and I love working with them. And similar to you, like I think the role of a mentor, the role of a teacher, of a guide is all like is what interests me in the idea of being a parent, of being a dad. And so I get to just nurture that part of me because, you know, I didn't move out to LA to work with kids, and yet I am. Yeah. And so but it's shown me that like, oh, this is a skill set that I have that I frankly don't get to work when I'm acting.
When you're acting, yeah.
Did you have another question?
No, you get one.
Cool.
One purpose.
This podcast is designed. It was created to prepare you to be a dad,
Yep.
and hopefully also to prepare you to be a good dad. How do you know if you are a good dad?
Yeah.
Especially early on, because I think as I'm listening to you talk about being a dad, I'm listening to you describe being the dad of a kid / a young man or woman, like a sentient being. But I want to know, like, in 9 months, you're going to be the dad of an alien. You're going to be the dad of a completely dependent, non-responsive, fully needy thing. How do you know if this worked? How do you know if this podcast was successful? Aside from the ratings.
Yeah, the sponsorships and the money that we're going to be making. That's the real.
Yeah, the size of the house I'm living in.
I think that when we first have the kid, I will feel like I'm a good dad, or that this has worked, because I'll just be like, oh yeah, I remember that they said that this might happen. I'll just have more to work with. That's really the whole point of this thing, is like, I have nothing to work with at this point.
Yeah.
It is incredible to me that humans even exist, because like, nobody knows what they're doing when that thing comes out. Like what? And I know there are books and I could read them, but more so than the information, I think the commiseration of like other people who are also have been or are currently in this state is going to be really helpful to me. I think that'll be the win more than anything, is like, you just kind of have like a little community maybe of people who have gone through it and say, kind of like we've been receiving this whole time. That's normal. Yeah, you're going to feel that way. That, you know, the baby's going to poop 10 times per day. That's normal. You know? And you can get that in a book, but I like hearing it from people's mouths more than anything. You know? I think that's my measure of success at this point.
There's something comforting about hearing from regular people who are just like doing their best and balancing everything else.
Just your experience.
Yeah.
Like what worked for you? Because certainly I think that's just as valuable as like scientific information. I want to know how you got that baby to go to sleep.
Right.
Tell me. Because you can give me a couple of ways in a book, but like, flick it. Flick
it on the nose.
Yeah.
Pop.
Yeah. Shake it a little bit. See what happens. I will not. I will not shake
Hey,
baby.
CPS, get out of here.
Get out of this podcast.
Get out of here.
I think that having hands-on experience is always super valuable to me personally, learning from that kind of thing.
We're going to bring on hopefully a whole sleuth of guests that will represent the entirety of the spectrum of what it means to be a dad and be a parent.
Yep.
If you walk away with nothing else, what do you hope that you get from this podcast? What do you like? Oh my God, if I can just have this ready, if I can just be mentally ready for that thing.
I think you just nailed it. I think it's just preparing me mentally 2% more than I am right now.
Cool.
Convincing my brain that I can do this, I think is the main thing that I want here. I just want to hear from other people that it is possible, because day one, it did not feel possible.
Yeah.
And we were scared. And I still am. But it gets a little better every day. And I think that through this, especially talking to experts and educating myself and talking to other parents and soon-to-be parents, I think that just feeling like I can do it is it for me. So hopefully it helps. Hopefully I get that. And I hope that you get it too. I hope that through this, you would feel more prepared to watch my baby whenever I ask you to.
Yeah, we'll be on the same we'll be on the same page. We'll be doing the same things.
Yep.
I'll be calling your kid's son as well.
Yep.
Hey, son.
Hey, son. He grows up and he.
What
happened to Dad 2? Dad 2 kind of disappeared when I was about 6 or 7.
Well, he booked a sitcom.
Yeah, he had to move to New York. It was a whole thing. I'm kind of nervous because, like, not every baby is beautiful. And if you have a baby that's, according to our Baroque beauty standards, not up to snuff, like, do you know it? Do you feel bad about your baby if it, like, is not the best looking baby? Or are you just kind of, like, blind to that? And also, side note, too, I find myself worrying about, like, if my kid's going to be smart, which I think is probably a bad thing to think about. I think the thing, I'm going to have a beautiful baby. I know Molly's way too hot for it to not be a good looking baby. But I think that things to foster curiosity and creativity and the things that make intelligence great. I want to know, like, what I can do as a dad to make those things more appealing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know my kid's just going to have the capacity for a certain level of intelligence, and I got to be cool with that, and I'm sure they're going to be brilliant. But, like, I guess I just want to know, like, how to emphasize intelligence, I think. Yeah. Is that wrong?
I think the thing that I would encourage you to do between now, I mean, and frankly, like, until they're 4, because kids aren't doing shit until they're 4. But, like, I would encourage you to see how you can expand your definition of intelligence. Culturally, we have an idea of what it means to be intelligent. It's more book-ish. It's more school-ish.
Sure.
And even just, like, athletically, when we think of an athlete, we think of certain types of sports. So it's like we have ingrained what we think is intelligent, and part of the desire to be intelligent, I think, is also because I want them to be successful. I want them to be. I want them to be independent, whatever that is. And so I think, you know, my hope for you would be that you can still have that hope. Because I think what you want, what it sounds like, is you want your kid to be able to do whatever they want to do, or to be able to do what they do well,
right,
for their own sake, for the sake of their future family, or for, you know,
my selfish,
for your
my gratification. I did a good job as a parent,
right? Sure,
yeah.
And to be able to say, oh, my kid who ended up becoming blank is just as intelligent as a kid who ended up being a different blank. Yeah. Even though, you know, one may come with degrees, or one may come with pedigree that the other doesn't. To be able to have a definition of intelligence that is more open.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and maybe that is a good thing to, like, take away from this podcast as a whole, is sort of like to illuminate my blind spots, my biases and things like that. To what I consider is intelligent, or what I consider is success, like having a good kid, being a good parent. What does that even mean? Yeah, maybe I need to, like, take a peek at what that is.
Well, I mean, I remember for myself, like, there was so much of my own, like, worth or my identity in my intelligence. When I was playing baseball, I was in a group of friends who my nickname was 4.0. I didn't even have a fucking 4.0. So it almost felt like a dig. No, but it was like, there was a group of people that I was seen as the smart kid. And then I stopped playing baseball, and my friend groups kind of shifted around a little bit, and I joined student council, and I was hanging around with kids that were, you know, going to UPenn and becoming doctors, and then I was like the dumb one in the group, and I was taking classes that all of a sudden I wasn't as, you know, I was always very good at math and always very good at science, and then I took harder classes that I wasn't as good at, And I realized that my intelligence, or what I thought was intelligence, was just like, I was just good at testing, or I was just good at the things that maybe I had been given an advantage of because of my genetics. And then as soon as things got hard, I had no resilience. I didn't know how to, I didn't realize that part of learning is growing, which feels so, how the fuck did you not know that?
I saw that on a poster with a kitten hanging from...
Hang in there?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, one of those things you see in your math class. It's like,
sure.
Learning is growing.
Learning is growing.
Yeah. That's like that seems like an
Yeah, but see, I didn't know how to read. So
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And that's why I want to do this podcast, is because you choose not to read. I can't read. So this is my only outlet. This is the only way that I can get information. It's tough too, because I'm not a very good auditory learner either. So yeah, I can't believe I've made it this far.
Strictly tactile. I have to have learning tiles for all of my subjects.
But yeah, all of that was to say that I thought I was really smart, and really the intelligence one was I was based on who I was with. So then when I was no less or more smart when I became friends with different people, but then I was comparing myself to them, and I thought I was dumber. But then also I didn't have skills of resilience. And then the question was not, the question then became, am I smart? And then I was like, oh no, I'm not smart. It was just like, I didn't know that you had to be bad at something to then be good at something. Isn't that crazy?
It's really hard.
How did I learn that? How did I learn to become resilient? I have no idea.
God. Yeah.
Not to say that I'm super resilient now, but I'm much more than I was.
Sure. I think it just comes from failing, right?
I've never failed though. That's the hard thing.
Good at everything, yeah.
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 Name one thing.
Just one.
Just name a thing, and I'll tell you if I failed at it.
Blanket.
I've never failed at blanket. We want to ask you. Yeah.
Oh, he's looking at camera too.
You. We want to ask you questions because, sure, having somebody who has a degree or a certification, that's nice, but the human race did not get here because of singular individuals. The human race got to where we are today because of the collective human experience. We want to know from you.
And today, I have a question for you. Coming hot off of learning about the existence of my first child, I want to know, how did all of you feel about the news that you were expecting for the first time? Whether that was pure joy, whether you've been trying for a while, whether you were terrified, whether you were anxious like me and unsure about how it was going to go, whether you haven't had that yet and you're looking forward to it. I kind of want to know how you felt about it. So let us know.
And I think with that too, let us know if it was planned or unplanned, because that I'm sure plays a part. But also, I would imagine there's a lot more unplanned pregnancies than we think.
Yeah, that's been pretty fun.
I would imagine that there's a lot more people that were like, even if, so let us know. Was it planned, unplanned? How'd you feel? What'd you think? Is Steven the self-acclaimed asshole that he calls himself? I'm excited for you.
I'm excited. I am excited.
I'm excited to see a little Steven.
A little tyke running around.
A little Steven.
Yeah.
And you're going to call him Jake.
One of the biggest pieces of advice that we've gotten so far actually is don't tell anybody what you're going to name it, because they will give you their opinion and you're not going to like it. So we're going to name our kid, and then we cut.
I'm going to take that one more time.
Yeah. I think the biggest piece of advice that we've gotten that we're kind of holding on to right now is don't tell anybody what you're going to name it, because they will have an opinion. Whether or not they say it, you could see it in their face.
Right.
When you say the name, they're going to give you something.
Right.
And then you're going to be thinking about it, and you're going to want to change the name or something like that.
Totally.
So don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to name our kid.
One more time.
So we're...
I gotta get better asking questions. Not fishing for compliments.
Do not
leave a comment to tell me how good my questions are. But no, I got to get more concise. That's the thing I learned. I don't remember anything you said, but I learned for me, what do I need to,
Tighter.
how do I keep it tight?
Tighten it up.
No, Steven, I think your story is not unique in that I think it happens to a lot of people. And I don't think men talk about it enough because I think that men, as we will, I'm sure, learn from all sorts of experts and pros that we talk to in this podcast, men think they got to have it all figured out. And if they don't have it figured out, they keep it to themselves. And it's about damn time we change that. It's okay to not know as long as you're willing to learn.
Learn a little bit. Learn a little bit.
Fucking learn a little bit.
Don't be perfect about it, okay?
Perfect about it. Yeah. Say, I don't know, but tell me.
Yeah.
You know, don't say, I don't know, fuck you. That's not good.
Yeah. Go do something about it. Educate yourself.
But it's okay. But like, take your time. Hey, you know, no one's perfect.
And that's what this whole thing is. It's a platform for expecting dads.
Yeah.
People in my shoes to come and learn something, to share a story. If you've had a kid, drop a line. Let us know what worked for you, what didn't work for you. We'd love to hear from you. So let this be a resource to all the expecting dads out there.
Yeah, you know, we want the half expecting verse to be a living and thriving being. And that it's not exclusive to just the two of us and the people we bring on the show. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from the people that are listening that may be going on the same journey that Steven's going on, or has gone on the same journey, or hopes to one day go on the same journey as Steven. Whether you're a guy, a girl, a mom, a dad, whoever. If you're listening, we want to hear from you in the comments. We want to be able to interact with you. If you have questions, if you have experts or people you want to hear from.
Yeah, an idea for an episode, let us know what you want to hear.
Exactly. And so we hope that every episode we leave you with one question. Obviously, whatever comment, whatever you want, as long as it's nice and that you love us. But we'll kind of leave you with a single prompt that may help, inform the direction of the podcast. And so for this episode, our question is, are you expecting? Are you expecting? I want to know how many of you listening right now to a podcast that didn't exist until this episode. The thousands, the hundreds and thousands of you that are listening. How many of you are expecting? And if so, when's the due date?
Are you excited?
Are you nervous?
How do you feel about it?
Are you shy?
Are you handsome?
Are you smart?
Are you?
Are you athletic?
Do you hope your baby is athletic? Who's got the fastest baby out there?
What is if your child desires to be to play sports, what sport do you hope they choose? What sport would you be most excited to coach them / watch them play?
Oh yeah, coaching. That'd be fun. Just drop us a line. Say hello.
No, that's a question to you.
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought you were talking to the
No, I'm talking to the camera. I talk to the camera. I'm talking to you.
Dude.
You know, I've never felt you less engaged with me
with you
while
personally?
making eye contact.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he is not listening.
I thought you were talking to the
I know,
audience.
I could feel
I was
it.
listening, but I wasn't listening with my eyes and my heart.
I felt like I could see the house right behind you.
You're exactly
I
right.
looked right through
You're
you,
exactly
baby.
right.
You, Steven.
Steven, yep. The podcast is such an embarrassing format.
I just feel like I got my legs spread wide open, no clothes, just
boy.
embarrassing. No, you. What sport?
Oh man, I love a good old American football game.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, I love football. Would love to, pending helmet construction.
Yeah, pending CTE science.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty polarizing sport, but I loved growing up playing football, and I would be happy if my child does. I can guarantee you there will be a dancer. Molly will make that known. She will love our child to dance, and I would too. It's great.
Oh yeah.
You've got great feet. Running back feet.
Ooh. Gosh, that would be sick. Yeah. Dancer and running back.
Yeah. Our child contains
Catch them on Dancing with the Stars.
That's right.
Are they the dancer or are they the star?
Watch season 97 and find out.
No other business. I think that's good.
That's good.
All right. Bye, bud.
Bye. Half Expecting is a Just Let Me Help production. If you like the show, don't forget to rate and follow us on Spotify and iTunes, and like and subscribe on YouTube.
Our theme song was mixed and mastered by Coda Hodge. We'd like to thank Jason Gerber for technical and production support. And we want to hear from you. If you have questions for us or want us to interview someone in particular, reach out to us at halfexpectingpod@gmail.com or find us directly on Instagram at halfexpectingpod.